Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth, and I am here with a sort of update on what I'm going to be reading for the next week-ish. So the first couple of books I'll be completing today. Those are Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I've got I want to say 65 pages left. I'm about to start chapter 22. Things are starting to pop off. I love the way that she writes. This is the first thing that I've read from her. I think I could be very mistaken on that. But I'm actually reading it for my speculative fiction course. And I'm so glad that he chose this book. It is awesome. And I love just the way she's incorporating all of the Gothic elements and the scientific elements. It's fabulous. The other book I'm going to finish today, hopefully, is The Dark Fantastic by Ebony Elizabeth Thomas. This is Race in the Imagination from Harry Potter to the Hunger Games. Chapter 5 is the last chapter. It's about 20 pages long, and it is entitled Hermione is Black, a postscript to Harry Potter and the Crisis of Infinite Dark Fantastic Worlds. This book has been very, very interesting. I've talked about it at length previously. If you'd like me to do a review on it sometime soon, let me know and I will. But those two are for my speculative fiction course, like I said, and they're what we need to have read for next week. I'll be finishing them today. Next week, for my Victorian Gothic literature class, we are reading The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I have read this somewhat recently, I think within the last year, but I'm going to read it again for many, many reasons. But I think the biggest one is that I'm writing a critical analysis on this and want to make sure that I am remembering things correctly and not like adding in elements of Scooby-Doo unless I decide to go that route. You know what I'm saying? So those are my master's course books. And then I have two books that I am buddy reading with Fiona. The first one I can't show you because it's on my phone and the light just will not work for that. But it is Keeper of the Lost Kingdoms, I want to say is the title of the series. This is book 2, Exile. We read the first book together a couple of months ago and really enjoyed it. So we decided to buddy read this one as well. The issue being she's already most of the way done with it and I've read page 1. So I need to hop on that. I'm reading it in ebook format, but I read the first one the same way and it went really quickly. So hopefully I can get caught up with her very soon. Hoping to have that done this week. The other book we're going to buddy read is A Treacherous Tale by Elizabeth Penny. This is book 2 in the Cambridge Bookshop series. We read book 1 together, absolutely adored it, and then had to wait a few months for book 2 to be published. It came out at the end of August, and we were both just bogged down and decided to wait. And I believe that we will be reading this week, possibly next week, but I'm hoping to get started on it this week. Quick reads, cozy mystery, absolutely fabulous. A couple of Americans have moved over to Cambridge to help a family with a bookshop that they own over there, and shenanigans happen. Little old ladies murdering each other. It's amazing. And then I have 3 books that I don't know if I'm going to get to this week, but I definitely want to get to them very quickly. The first one is the only one that I'm really not sure if I can, and that is Pumpkin Picking with Murder by Orally Wallace. This is book 2 in a series, book 1 having been Skinny Dipping with Murder. And I thought Pumpkin Picking with Murder was the first book, and I got super excited because pumpkins make me happy and I am not super opposed to murder in all its forms. So I was like, yeah, let's go. Cozy mystery in the fall. And then I realized Skinny Dipping with Murder was number 1, and I have not read it. So I don't know if I need to read the first one first or if I can read this series out of order, like most cozy mysteries. Some of them you can, some of you can't. So if you've read this series at all, have any idea, please let me know if I can read this one before I grab Skinny Dipping with Murder. All right, the other 2 I do not have such issues with. The first one being The Secret Book in Scone Society by Ellery Adams. This is the first book in the series. There are at least 2 books out. I'm hoping I enjoy it because it sounds so super cool. So the basis of this is that there's a quirky club in a small town in North Carolina that holds the keys to health, happiness, friendship, and solving a murder, and it can all be found within the pages of the right book. So yeah, it's set in Miracle Springs, and they exchange people. They don't exchange people. People come into Miracle Springs hoping the renowned 5-star cuisine and spa can cure their ills. Then they find their way to Miracle Books, where they get a scone and exchange stories with the owner, Nora Piddington. In return for a carefully chosen book, she can prescribe the perfect novel to ease a person's deepest pain. And, it goes on from there. But I thought that sounded really intriguing. I'm definitely going to be picking that up soon. And then the last book I'm hoping to read this week is Whispering Pines by Heidi Lang and Katie Bartkowski. This is a book that was published in 2020, but we just got it in our Between the Bookends book box for this month. I had not heard of it, but it is a fairly recent, like I said, it's been published within the last 2 years, fairly recent spooky book. And that's why I love Between the Bookends, because I'm like really into middle grade literature, as you guys know, but sometimes things just kind of fly under the radar. And I'd never heard of this one, but it sounds super spooky and perfect. And I'm really looking forward to picking it up. Like I said, we just got it in our Between the Bookends box, which came in last weekend or the weekend before. So if you want to know more about it, I believe I read the entire synopsis there. So that's what I've got going on book-wise. However, this is going to be a very, very busy week. Tomorrow, Mom has chemo and they have to leave early, so I'm getting ready to throw a bunch of clothes in a bag and go sleep on a mattress on the floor in my parents' house so that I can get the girls to school and everything, and my parents don't have to worry about them doing all that, so they can just go into chemo, get that taken care of. However, that makes me late for school, right? I'm going to be like an hour and a half late for my job getting the kids to theirs. And then I'm going to have to ask if I can leave about 3 hours early, because my adopted grandmother passed away last week, and her gravesite is being held tomorrow at 2:30, and it's about an hour drive from where I work. So I don't know if I'll be leaving early or not, but I'll probably be doing that. So a lot of this is going to be an audiobook. Then we have senior night volleyball game Tuesday. Yeah. So it's a lot, and I have to crochet. So Elena and Raylan decided that they want to be Beauty and the Beast for Halloween, and Elena just chopped all her hair off into a pixie cut, which is super cute, but she is Belle at the end of the movie in the golden dress, and she needs hair for that. So I'm going to surprise her by crocheting her a beanie that has like the bun and little curls and things coming off of it for her costume. So that's probably going to end up being done while I listen to an audiobook or while we watch Ghostbusters and Hocus Pocus 83 more times this week. One of those two things, probably the movies. I'm not going to lie. But that's all I've got for you guys. I thought I had more, but my brain went, there you have it. If you have read any of these, let me know. Let me know if you know anything about this series and if I can pick this one up. And I will talk to you guys again soon. I hope you're having a fabulous day, that you have an amazing week, and that you stay safe out there. Bye.